Your point is, I remember it was sorry. Anytime now.
With its fantasy-like in-store experience, Toys R Us has charmed the hearts of children all over the world. However, in the face of the changing e-commerce landscape in Asian markets, how can Toys R Us leverage on this to further its growth? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cicc, and together with me are my colleagues, Yanling, Jianwen, and Zihao. And together, we are Prism Consulting. And today, we'll be sharing with you the e-commerce dream for Toys R Us Asia.
So let's first take a look at the landscape that Toys R Us is operating in. Externally, we see that the industry presents an opportunity for Toys R Us to venture online because the internet retailing landscape in Asia is projected to grow at a very rapid rate over the next 5 years. And internally, we see that Toys R Us core competency lies in fostering customer loyalty through a unique, interactive, and fun in-store shopping experience. And to leverage on this external industrial trend, as well as to leverage on our very own core competency, Toys R Us has actually set forth the following vision to integrate the online as well as the offline. So firstly, being for the online as well as other alternative channels to act as a support to store purchases, and secondly, to offer services, online services that are consistent with what is available in store. And these will serve to create a seamless customer interface and brand experience for our consumers. And in line with this vision, Toys R Us has actually embarked on an omni-channel strategy in 3 key markets, namely China, Malaysia, as well as Taiwan. And moving forward, it intends to actually extend this omni-channel strategy in markets like Hong Kong as well as Singapore. However, as we examine closer to look at China, we see that Toys R Us partnership with Tmall is actually misaligned with its vision. Consumers cannot pay online and pick up in-store, and they cannot buy online and pay in-store. Furthermore, in-store offers are also not available within the Tmall package. This means that the online and offline channel essentially presents 2 extremely disparate platforms and is misaligned with the Toys R Us vision of wanting to offer a seamless integration with the online and offline channel. Such misalignment of our strategy with the vision can actually cause Toys R Us to actually miss out on the potential revenue that it can gain. According to a study conducted by Retail Info Systems in 2013, we see that retailers that neglect to build an omni-channel model will actually lose out on 6.5% of potential revenue. And this loss is actually magnified considering how China is the largest toys market in Asia. Furthermore, China is also the fastest growing internet retailing market in China, and this points to a huge opportunity that we can possibly leverage on to implement our omni-channel strategy. As such, the lack of integration of the online and offline channel will cause Toys R Us to lose a substantial amount of revenue that it can possibly capture. With this in mind, the need for us to refine our omni-channel strategy in China to capture this large slice of pie that we are missing out on becomes all the more pressing instead as compared to expanding our strategy to Hong Kong and Singapore, as they present a significantly smaller market size. With this, our recommendations today will seek to answer 2 key questions of how can we actually fill the gaps left by Tmall to offer a seamless integration between the online and offline channel, and how can we actually tailor this strategy to reach out to the Chinese consumers. Our recommendations will seek to achieve the following key target of realigning our strategy in China with Toys R Us' vision of wanting to create this seamless integration between the online and offline channel so that we can achieve an increase in revenue of 20% CAGR over the next 5 years. And with this in mind, allow me to introduce to you our 2-pronged strategy, which is the True App and True Experience.
So let me walk you through the first part of our 2-pronged strategy, the True App strategy. So in this case, but before we dive into the details of this application, let me share with you our understanding of the current situation in China. So in China, two of our online channels are Tmall and our own online store respectively. However, we can see, as previously mentioned, that the sustainability of relying on Tmall is not sustainable in the long run. Thus, we believe that Toys R Us should actually shift towards channeling the online sales to its own channel instead. So, how should we shift this balance towards towards Toys R Us own online store instead? First, we look at some trends in the e-commerce market in China. From here, we can see there's an increasing trend towards mobile e-commerce instead away from online buying from PC. And so this refers us to actually adjust the omni-channel strategy of Toys R Us to also include the mobile strategy, and this can come in the form of an application. And thus, let me introduce to you the Toys R Us True app. So this app will actually, the design of this app will actually take into the consideration of the two key stakeholders of Toys R Us, namely the parents and the children. So looking at the parents, they are the main controller of this purchasing decision, although they are not the end consumers who are enjoying the toy themselves. And what they are looking out for is the convenience of shopping online. So how do we appeal to this factor of convenience that parents are looking out for nowadays? We can do this by looking at some consumer desires in the omni-channel mix. And from here, we find that actually 50% of consumers would like to connect the orders in stores, and 39% are actually unlikely to visit store if they cannot find out the physical inventory levels beforehand. And lastly, 58% of them actually own a smartphone and have previously used it for instant purchases. So, how do we consolidate all this to present an omni-channel strategy to increase convenience for parents? This can come in a similar strategy as shown here, and these are supported by the following features. The first of which is a QR scan and purchase feature on the phones. So, when parents walk into the Toys R Us with their children, they can simply scan the QR code next to the toy and be able to purchase it and have it delivered to their home without having to queue up for the toy itself at the store. And next is the item finder. Having known what kind of toy the child already wants, the parent can simply look for the toy online and just simply go to the store which has the toy in stock already. Or alternatively, if they have simply no time to make the way down to the store itself, they can go for a pure online option where they have the option of picking it up or having delivery home. And all in all, this will help to deliver a convenient and seamless experience for parents. So now let us take a look at the appeal for the kids. So for children, while they are not the main purchasers of their toys, they present a major influencing factor on their parents. And what appeals to these children is the fun and enjoyable experience from the in-store that Toys R Us can offer. So, moving forward, how should Toys R Us actually appeal to these children online? And what our team has discovered is that we can see an increasing trend towards mobile gaming. And according to a Nielsen report as shown here, it shows that mobile app gaming actually presents the largest proportion of usage of apps. And according to Euromonitor, it says that the line between video games, traditional games, and mobile app gaming are blurring. So this presents an opportunity for Toys R Us to actually appeal to the children through mobile apps. And so we believe that we should venture into the mobile app gaming scene. In this way, the children will be engaged through the mobile app and then encouraged to visit the stores to complete the entire gaming experience, and this will exert a greater influence on the parents who are controllers. So let me share with you more about this gaming app. So this gaming app can come in the form of a role-playing game. So as a child first logs into the game, they can choose what kind of character they want, and so we can actually partner with some of the notable brand partners other Toys R Us. So a child could be their favorite character or Barbie or Lego, up to their personal preferences. And next, we'll incorporate online and online quests, which the children can complete to gain points to proceed in the game. And we can incorporate some offline and online elements as well, as when they are trying to complete the quest or fighting some a final boss, we can get them to go down to the retail store directly to scan a QR code to gain a bonus item or be able to fight a a limited edition box to get a special prize. And this will attract children to the physical stores and encourage greater store traffic. And lastly, the game will have game points which can be converted into loyalty points. And such loyalty points can also be converted into coin purchase discounts or vouchers, which will then complement and encourage sales, since this will appeal to parents as well. And so, in summary, we can see how the children are actually encouraged to play the games, and then further encouraged to visit the stores to enhance their overall gaming experience. And this will lead them to increasing store traffic and exert a greater influence over their parents, who now have the convenient access to actually purchase these toys through the methods as explained above. And this will help to drive online sales.
Moving on to delivering the true experience to all consumers, we look at the new mobile app that Toys R Us is about to present. And with all new products, the first thing to do is to market it to our consumers. And some issues that we might potentially face is that, firstly, there's no incentive to download the application, or secondly, there's no awareness of this new application in the first place. So how do we address? So looking at a case study in Korea, Tesco actually launched a new application, and to increase awareness of this application, it pasted QR codes of all its products along subway stations so that consumers can just scan and buy their groceries in subway stations immediately. And this was a resounding success based on the figures as we've seen above, 130% increase in their sales, as well as a 76% increase in the registration of their new online mobile application. So, two learning points that we derive from this case study is that, firstly, the idea of convenience that we have to bring to our consumers, and secondly, also the time that people idle in subway stations can be effectively utilized to purchase products. So, with that, we bring you Toys R Us Virtual Shop, the true experience. And in this case, there are three main features, mainly the instant purchase of QR codes through scanning, as well as eye-capturing images to attract kids in terms of visual appeal, as well as lastly, promo codes to incentivize people or new customers to come on board. So how this works, let me walk you through it. So imagine Bob, a father who is bringing his kids and wife back to shopping, and after shopping in Beijing. So on his way down to the subway, Bob sees the visual appeal and sees that it's really easy for them to scan and to purchase the app. And for his daughter itself, she looks at the image and finds it really appealing and begs Dad to buy her her favorite Barbie doll. And lastly, her mom, seeing that there's a $50 roaming beat discount that she can claim just by entering a QR code. This appeals to all stakeholders within the family and is effective in promoting the new application. So seeing where we want to roll out this new initiative, we look at the 5 main cities in China. And reasons for doing so is firstly because they have the highest population, and this results in the greatest outreach in terms of our publicity stint. So this is the implementation timeline for our recommendation. So we roll out the 5 main cities before we touch on the next 19 cities that Toys R Us already have stores within.
Now that you have seen our recommendations, let me run through with you the financials. Firstly, Toys R Us 5 years revenue CAGR growth is 12.4% based on the toy industry. However, with our recommendations now, we will be able to achieve a 20.7% growth over the next 5 years. And this is mainly due to 2 reasons. Firstly, increased spending per customer and increased number of customers. Moving forward, with the top line increasing, we also have our new True App strategy to help us control our inventory costs and increase our inventory turnover ratio rate. With that, we were able to maintain our costs and improve our EBIT margin from our current 10% to eventual 35% in 5 years' time. In summary, our 2-pronged approach will be able to achieve the company's vision of getting a seamless integration between our offline and online channel, and with that, achieving our target of a revenue CAGR growth of 20% over the next 5 years. Thank you.
decided to choose the China market?
Okay, thank you for your question. So, as mentioned, currently the Toys R Us actually has embarked on the omni-channel strategy in the three markets, and we see that the omni-channel strategy that has embarked on is actually not in line with its vision of wanting to create a seamless integration between the online and offline channel, where, as outlined just now, that its partnership with Tmall does not allow it to be able to pay online and pick up in store, or buy online and pay in store. So that in a sense, there's this disparity between the offline and online channel, and this goes against the Toys R Us very core vision of wanting to provide this omni-channel strategy and to provide a seamless integration between the online and offline strategy. And the fact that the China market actually possesses is the largest market for the toy industry within Asia. This means that if we were to leave this problem unresolved and to continue with our strategy of extending our omni-channel strategy in Hong Kong and Singapore, we'll be actually losing out on a huge amount of potential revenue that we can possibly gain. As such, we feel that it's important for us to actually focus on China first.
I'll build on that thing. So as you move that question, as you move from online platform like Tmall and you move everything in-house, so what other things need to come through so that it can be executed properly, like your logistics and those kind of infrastructure?
Thank you for your question. So we see that in terms of logistics, transportation and delivery of the toys could be a problem that we foresee. As such, we are not recommending an instant cut-off from Tmall, but rather a gradual diversification away from it, so that there is time for us to be able to accommodate the increase in logistics that we need to cater to.
And adding on to my point, Toys R Us could in the future actually form partnerships with established courier in China with networks throughout China, such a way that we can actually expand our distribution network at a faster pace than developing everything in-house.
But have you considered that there could be cultural factors or even structural factors as to the reason why Tmall is so popular in China? I mean, Tmall has about 80% of the online market share in China, and then I think the next highest is Japan at 30% or 40%. So you can see that China is much higher than the rest of Southeast Asia in terms of using marketplaces as a form of sales channel. So why do you think we should change this strategy since it has worked in China?
To answer your question, I believe that the overarching idea of debating away or diversifying away from Tmall itself is also because of our main vision of integrating online and offline. So with this vision in mind, I think that we shouldn't let Tmall stop us from achieving what we want to achieve. And therefore, we are looking towards mobile applications in which Tmall currently does not have at the point of time. And with the increasing trends and consumption, with the increasing expenditure through mobile payments for the Chinese market, we aim to be one of the first few retailers to actually tap into that market and to gain customer loyalty through our innovative applications, which targets both stakeholders, the parents, and the children.
If I may further add on, I do agree that actually Tmall is actually a very effective form of driver of sales. In fact, by partnering with Tmall, our Toys R Us sales has actually experienced a spike. But then we see that, can I please have the next slide? Yeah. So we see that if we do not put in place this omni-channel strategy that is gaining popularity, we would potentially miss out on more revenue than if we actually partner with Tmall. Yes.
I have a question on the true experience. So I looked at your financials and I see that you are expecting a huge revenue growth from true experience. So I'd like to understand, you guys have done a case study on Tesco in Korea, and you have said that they have done fantastic with their implementation strategy. But shopping for groceries and shopping for toys are two very different things. And I would like to understand someone who downloads True Experience, the app, what will his frequency of usage be for the app over the, let's say, in the duration of 1 year? And because of that, would that affect the usability of the app?
So just to clarify things a bit, the True Experience app and actually the True app is within one app itself. So in terms of application-wise, basically the True Experience app, we are expecting at least, because okay, can you go to the railways, the subway stations, and yeah. So taking Beijing for example, it's one of the mega cities in China. So every day, 9.75 million passengers ride the lines in Beijing. So tapping on the 5 main cities, we are expecting a 0. Okay, based on the case study. So the case study was in Korea, and in one of the cities with a population of 10 million citizens, and 10,000 of them actually downloaded the app and used it on a frequent basis. So that gives us a 0.1% conversion rate in terms of like travelers to shopper conversion. So using the same proxy, we see that we can achieve at least 9,000 new customers over a period of a year, and this is only one city. So aiming at the different, like all the cities, the 5 main cities, we actually see that there's an 85 million population, which will then transit into 85,000 new consumers. 225,000 new customers. Yeah.
So I would like to carry on with the next question. So I think e-commerce has been the hype in China and the whole world over the past few years. And can you help us understand why would the consumer, right, living in a city like Beijing or one of the tier 1 cities, right, where convenience is there, I can go down to a store to pick up this toy, purchase the toy. Why would I use your omni-channel strategy instead? In the sense that I would use the app to browse for the store and I can't see what the toy is, I can't feel the toy, my kids can't feel the toy. Why would this app be more attractive to consumers as compared to a brick-and-mortar store?
So to answer your question, as you mentioned, in Beijing everything is based on convenience, right? So with this added convenience, if a parent is able to purchase everything online, to purchase everything online, there's really no need for them to go down offline. And given the fact that in China itself, the pace of life is very fast. Can you go to the appendix? Like, yeah. So given that 75% of China people are quite stressed in terms of their leisure and like work-life balance, by allowing parents this option of purchasing everything online through the application instead of going down to the store itself, it might serve as an alternative route for them to purchase, or for busy parents who don't have the time to go down to the store to purchase these applications. With that said, as much as we like to, we also want them to come down to our stores if they have the time, and that's where the True app gaming experience comes into play, where parents may bring their kids down, like maybe once a month, for the kids to complete their quest in the game and also to redeem rewards based on the in-app games that they can achieve.
So, if you are still assuming that the parents would bring their kids down to the store 1 month and the frequency of usage of your app is 8.8 times per year, then would that mean that I would purchase the toy at the store when I go down every month to do the quest in store?
When you do a quest in store, basically you are given a choice to whether you want to purchase or not. But it's just the idea of allowing your kids to have fun in the store, where our main unique value proposition of highly trained staff and basically a fun environment for your children to be able to experience. In that sense.
If I may add on, actually the True app experience has 2 parts. The gaming part actually caters more towards the children, the kids, where they can have fun playing the games, and then they have to go down to the store to complete their quest whatsoever. So the first point comes in when the kids actually go to the store and they bring their parents with them. That will actually encourage purchase. The second point comes from the fact that with with the app, the parents will now be able to browse through these sort of toys if they're planning of buying toys for their kids, and they don't have to go down to the store itself. So it's much more convenient for them. And if they were to buy the toys for their kids, right, firstly they can go browse through online, and then for parents who are concerned about like safety of the toy, and unless they are bent on buying one specific toy, they will usually have like a few options. So they can shortlist them first, and then go down to the store and take a look at them, and bring their children there to see if they actually want it. So in that sense, this is how we try to connect between the online and offline experience together, and also targeting both the children who actually influence their parents to buy the toys for them, and at the same time influence the parents who are actually the main decision maker in the household.
So would we see the app as more of a catalog for consumers to browse through and eventually make the purchase in store? Do you think that the large portion of your revenue would contribute from in-store purchase due to the increased convenience in browsing the different toys you have through the app, or do you think that most of the purchases will be made through the app?
To answer that question, going forward, I think from the management's emphasis on the strategic direction, they still see the importance of having the in-store experience as their core competencies. So that is something that we cannot neglect when we decide to move forward. And with that said, I think currently the proportion of the revenue mix is 90% coming from the physical stores and 10% online. So when we adopt this true experience and true app strategy, what we're trying to do is to bring the customers to both the online channel, and then they will go to the offline channel to buy this as well. And we are not trying to change too much of the whole consumer purchasing habit in that sense, but trying to connect these two together. And moving forward, I think our revenue projection shows that 85% of our revenue will still come from the physical stores, and the rest will come from the online stores.
Question about the app. As a parent myself, one of the real concerns is supply uncertainty. In other words, the store may not have it by the time you get there. It's similar to fashion goods in that sense. Will the app help me there?
Yes, actually, if I refer you to one of the app convenience I'll just share with you verbally then. But one of the features actually feature the item search, item finder. So once the parent actually knows what kind of toy that the child wants to purchase, they can actually look for the toy on the catalog itself, and this app will actually be able to direct the parent to the nearest store which has the availabilities of the desired toy. And through the app, the parent may also be able to make a reservation of that toy to pick up and purchase there itself. So there will not be any issues in terms of going to the store and finding out that there's no stock on the toy that they want to purchase.
So, if I hear you correctly, you're saying they have to go to that store.
We also have an alternative method of just simply ordering online. But based on our research, actually there's a 50% of parents who actually like to just pick it up at the store. So our strategy also caters to parents who have different preferences in terms of picking up or having it delivered back home.
50% of parents where?
Of digital consumers are the average.
In what countries?
China.
In China?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that you've moved to an e-commerce model, right, and you are tying up with some of these gaming creation people to come up with apps, what kind of organizational changes are you thinking of implementing, and how would you, how are you going to, I imagine that, how are you going to share the cost of developing this app with your partners?
For our app strategy, actually we're looking at getting any licensing from our partners and negotiating a license at a lower rate given the long-standing relationship and global partnerships with our brand partners. So we'll actually be licensing the characters to be and working with a separate app developer in order to develop this gaming application.
So you incur the full cost of that. Toys R Us will incur the full cost of that.
Yes.
And with that, you'll still be able to increase your margins from 10% to 35%.
With regards to the cost of developing an app, we actually done some research. So the range of the cost, right, range from around 500,000 to the up end about 1 million. So we have estimated around that to be 600k, 700k, and this is actually more of an initial cost at the start. So you can see that our initial.
And how many apps do you have to create?
It's just one.
Just one.
With
True
lots of features.
Yeah, so one combined app.
You forecasted 1 million for your feedback, right?
Yes, that is
So
inclusive of
400,000 is to improve all your inventory system.
the RFID tagging that we want to implement.
What are the leading online storefronts in China?
The leading online storefronts for China in the toy segment would be Leyou and Lejia Baby. And so these retailers actually target a slightly different, have a slightly different value proposition, which is selling their toys at a price almost matching that of the manufacturers. Yeah. And so the Toys R Us value proposition will still be the unique store experiences, as these stores do not have the same do not achieve the same level of fun and interactiveness in their stores. And so the Toys R Us actually has an advantage in this area as compared to their competitors.
Thank you.
When you are going to the app, you are basically entering into a so-called new space where you are fighting for their mobile time. So what happens if the time that they spend on the move, you do not successfully fight and win the battle with the kids, as in the mobile time that they spend on their mobiles? What happens if you do not win that battle? What sort of contingency plans and risk and mitigations do you have?
To answer your question, if the appeal to the kids did not turn out as successful as we think it would, that's where we will change our plans to target the parents and providing them a convenience instead. So in that aspect, we did consider things such as geolocation notifications, in which whereby walking like by any shopping malls with a Toys R Us nearby will prompt like personalized like notifications such as 20% off in store today, do come down now. So such features will actually be targeted at parents instead of the children. And this is one of the plans that we have in the event that the game itself does not turn out to be as appealing to the kids as we would want it to be.
Why would the parents want to download something that would eventually cause them so much trouble? Because kids will bug them to go to the store. I'd rather just download some better games.
Understand your concern. I think one of the key trends that we are all aware of in China is basically the one-child policy in terms of parents wanting to give the children the best. And in this case, as we understand that parents are also busy working, so we are trying to strike a balance between providing two options, in which one, whereby if the parents are really too busy, they are able to purchase everything online through the mobile application, in which if they happen to have the free time, that is where the mobile games actually come to play, where children have to go down to the store itself to finish the quests that they have in game. And by providing both options and the flexibility, we hope to promote our vision of having an omni-channel strategy for parents who so love their kids and want the best for their children.
You said that you were leaving 6.5% on the table without the omnichannel strategy. Can you give me the logic behind that? I mean, why?
Thank you for the question. So we see that the potential of leveraging on an online omni-channel strategy can actually help to reinforce online sales as well as offline sales. So if we are able to integrate this seamless experience between the online and offline channel, by directing traffic to the online channel, we can actually increase and boost offline sales and vice versa. So if we actually do not have this integration put in place, I think we'll actually be missing out on this potential reinforcing effect that both online and offline channels can have on each other.
I'd like a little more data. In other words, 6.5% is not it is a number that comes from somewhere. So I'd like to know where it comes from. And I'd like to know maybe one way of defending that would be to tell me somebody that has one and how much it improves their revenue.
So the figures of 6.5% is actually derived from research that we have done as conducted by the could we have missing out on potential?
Yeah, but there must be some details there that you guys know. Otherwise,
Sorry, what do you mean?
well, I want to know where the 6.5% went. In other words, what specific kinds of decisions, behaviors
Okay, so
resulted in a 6.5% increase or decrease, depending on which way you look at it.
So to answer your question, this loss of 6.5% could actually be attributed to loss in revenue towards their competitors, while also ramping up their e-commerce strategy and similarly implementing all these more sophisticated omni-channel strategies. So we've actually seen something like this happen to Toys R Us in the US.
Trouble with the word actually is that you don't have any actually. In other words, you're not giving me real data. So it's not actually at all.
So presumably,
You see what I'm saying, right? When you make a claim, somebody's going to ask you, I guarantee you. This time it was me, but it's going to be somebody else.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Yeah, not bad.